according to the law, you are condemned to die.
It comforts me to know that when the sentence is carried out, both this day and my grief will come to an end.
Well, Syracusan, tell us why you left your country, and what brought you to Ephesus.
You impose upon me the heaviest of tasks. Nonetheless, for the world to understand the reason that brought me here, I describe as much as my sorrow will allow. I was born in Syracuse. There, I married a woman who loved me as much as I loved her, except that our fate was reversed. At first, I lived with her, enjoying my constant trips to Abu Dhabi, kept our wealth growing. The death of my administrator, however, and the need to take care of my estate drew me away from her. A few months later, she decided to join me, and she gave birth to 2 male twins. They were so alike, they couldn't be distinguished from each other. At the same time and in the same place, another woman gave birth to another couple of male twins. Since that woman and her husband were extremely poor, she decided to join me and raise all the boys together. My wife was so proud of her sons that she insisted we return home. It wasn't long before he accepted, and we sailed. When we were a league away from Epidaurus, the wind began to move the ocean and the will of the sky darkened. We felt we were facing an imminent death. We lost all hope for the sailors, took the only boat to save themselves, and abandoned us in the sinking ship. My wife fastened one of her boys and one of the servant twins to one side of an additional mast, such as seamen provide for storms. At the other side, I did the same with the other two. Then, my wife and I fastened ourselves at each end of that mast. We threw ourselves into the sea, and the stream took us to Corinth. Finally, the waters eased. The sun dispersed the fog, and its light revealed 2 ships, one from Corinth and the other one from Epidaurus. But before the ships came near us, I can't go on.
Please continue. For even if we cannot forgive you, at least we can have compassion for you.
I wish the gods had compassion for us then, so I wouldn't be calling them merciless now. When the ships were about 10 leagues from us, we encountered a mighty rafter that split the mast in half. The half that bore my wife was fastly carried away by the wind because it was lighter. Fishermen from Corinth took them up. The other ship rescued us. And if it hadn't been so slow, we would have been able to draw near the one from Corinth and rescue the rest of my family. We lost them forever. You have just heard the manner in which happiness was taken from me. And as you can see, through misfortune, my life is only prolonged to tell this sad story.
What has happened to them and to you since then, merchant?
When the son I raised turned 18, he began to ask about his brother and insisted that his servant, whose case is similar, accompany him in his quest, and they left. 2 years later, I realized that while he saves the one I missed so much, I risk the loss of whom I dearly love. I have spent 5 years looking for my son, journeying around Greece and wandering the borders of Asia, until I lost all hope of finding him. I came upon Ephesus when I was sailing back home. So, my life must end now, and I would happily die if I only knew one of my sons was alive.
Unhappy teacher. If it wasn't against our laws, my soul would take your side. And to prove this, although I cannot reverse your sentence, I'll try to help you. I grant you this day to seek acquaintances in Ephesus, and beg or borrow the amount you need to save your life. Otherwise, you'll have to die.
Hopelessly I go. I don't know anybody here. My death is temporarily delayed.